Okay, well, Kufar Akbar, everybody, welcome back to another Sunday edition of the Cross and the Crescent discussion group. This is a live stream show dedicated to rightly dividing the truth between Christianity and Islam. We're here every Sunday afternoon, or we're getting to be here every Sunday afternoon at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. I think we're doing a good job of that. I think we're going to stay with this date until further notice. How's that? Okay, well, welcome. Today, we're going to pick up where we left off last week. Last week, we were talking about that viral video, and I'm not sure how many millions of views that Nick Shirley video got, but I know it's a butt ton. It's, do you guys have any idea? Have you guys heard this, how many it is?
Oh, it's huge, and there's even the fallout is huge. Like, what's her name? There was like a Somali woman who said fraud is bad, and then she stopped the conversation and she left. Left the kind of interview. It's been pretty intense. There's been a huge fallout from
Yeah,
it.
and rightly so. I mean, it's just so blatant what this guy caught. It just makes you sick. Um, Before we get to the video, I want to lead off with a story that I picked up on yesterday. I'm going to break the news to you, and I know you're all going to feel so. Well, Issa's not going to feel sorry for me because Issa's sitting in uh, Israel. So yeah, there you go. He's loving life. But I'm gonna let's see. I did not. Okay, Rad, you just bring yourself up when you can. But I've been in Florida all week. I went down there, and yeah, I yesterday. Well, not this time yesterday. At 1 o'clock yesterday, it was 79 degrees, and I'm sitting by a pool soaking up the sun. And we had to come home. And so we got in a car and drove straight through last night. We got in about 2 o'clock, just completely exhausted. Uh, as a matter of fact, I even slept in this morning. I never sleep in, but I slept in this morning because I was worn out. But anyway, on the way home, I'm listening to different stories on Instagram and X and all the other. And there was a story about Muslims in Washington State, Somali Muslims in Washington State. Now, listen to how they're scamming the system there. Okay, now this is you know I don't know. I mean, people say that people from Somalia, the average IQ is 70, which I believe because they practice. I don't even know what you call it, where you marry your first cousin or whatever, but they do that in Somalia too. But this is some pretty sophisticated crap. What you'll do, let's say you got Somalian A, Habibi has 4 kids. Habibi has 4 kids, and his sister Hajibi, who lives next door, has 4 kids. So you got 8 kids. Now, listen to what they're doing in Washington State. They got 8 kids. Habibi sets up a home daycare center in his home, and he watches Hajibi's 4 kids too. So we got a total of 8 kids, and he employs Hajibi also to watch their kids. 8 kids. Now they get a total of I think it's like $1,500 a month or a week each for watching these kids from the state, from the state, and that gives them like $6,000 I think a month between the two of them. That's $12,000 a month. That's about $150,000 a year when it comes out in the aggregate, and if they add a couple of neighbor kids or whatever. Anyway, they come up about 150 grand a year. Now you would think, okay, 150 grand a year, you are not going to qualify for any type of government services because you make too much money, right? Wrong. So what they do is Habibi takes his house and claims that as the daycare center and uses that as a tax write-off. Any food he buys the children is a tax write-off. Any electricity or gas that he uses to heat said house is a tax write-off. So as you can see, everything is a tax write-off to the point where Habibi's making 32 cents a day watching these kids, and even though he's bringing in $150,000 each for Habibi and Hajibi. So it's $300,000 a year. They're scamming the government by doing this. Now, again, you and I are law-abiding, or I'm assuming at least Paul would be. I don't know about the other two. I'm just a bad joke. Bad joke. Okay. Anyway, we're a law-abiding citizen. We pay our taxes, and we think, okay, these taxes, even though we don't, I don't. I'm thankful that I pay taxes because since I pay taxes, that means that I have a job, I'm financially secure, and I'm capable, and therefore the country feels that I should pay a certain amount of taxes. I don't mind paying. I don't mind paying taxes. I really don't, unless those taxes are being wasted. And when we had the Doge people come out last spring after Trump took office, and we saw all of the fraud, waste, and abuse going on there, and these grants giving to people in Timbuktu for trans parades or whatever. It just made you sick watching this. And now we're sitting here watching these Somali pirates, is what they are, ripping us off when we as a country have extended these people the goodness of our country, saying, okay, we understand that your country's broke. Come here, we'll take you in, we'll provide you a refuge, and we'll provide you the opportunities that we have in our country. And what do? They steal us blind. Now, Issa was going to say something. I'm sorry, Issa.
Oh, I actually know a lot about this because I have very close loved one who's connected to Somaliland. I don't know if you know what Somaliland is.
Yeah.
It's something that's been kind of very popular. Do you know why Somaliland exists? Are you familiar with that?
It was carved up because of a split, and I can't remember off the top of my head. Go ahead. I
Well,
can't.
basically, the Somalia did a genocide to Somalilanders.
Hold on just a second. Hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute. I'm coming back. That queen is out there on the phone talking way too loud. Okay, so they did a genocide. Go ahead.
Yes. The president's name was Syed al-Barra. And Syed al-Barra targeted the Ibn Ishaq clan, which is primarily the Somalilanders, right? And they did horrible things. And then these Somalians who did horrible things to the Somalilanders pretended to be Somalilanders to get to become refugees. There was a leader named Muhammad Farah Al-Did, and he
Mohammed Farah Adid. Is this the 1990s? I remember this dude. This is the guy that was stealing the UN food, and this is where we send in the ranger. We send in the army. Okay, this guy's stealing food. Okay, I remember this because we sent in the army soldiers so they could set up distribution networks because they were using the UN was going in and was shipping food to Somalia, and these gangs were essentially stealing the food from the people, and unless the people did what they wanted them to do, they would not distribute the food that was given to them by the UN. So we sent the army soldiers in. We sent in our army in. Les Aspen is the second death, okay? And this is why we had Black Hawk Down, is when they sent the soldiers in. And as a matter of fact, I remember as soon as the soldiers get ashore, they have reporters there on the beach going, are you sure you're supposed to be here? Do you think that we should be here in Somalia? And just get the hell out of the, it was the most insane thing that you had ever seen, questioning soldiers as they're coming ashore to protect. Anyway, when soldiers get there, they set up the distribution networks, they secure the food, they start distributing the food to the people. And this essentially puts Farah Adid out of business. I think we captured the guy, if I'm not mistaken. But the thing was is that Les Aston did not want armored vehicles, did not want our army to have armored vehicles because he did not want it to look like an escalation of of uh, of military escalation in Somalia. And this is why we had guys running around the middle of Mogadishu with light up armored. They weren't even up armored Humvees. They were just light vehicles, getting the snot shot out of them by all these people sitting on these roofs as they're going through there. Okay, so Farah Deed, go ahead.
Oh, and
What did
I'm
this
sorry.
guy
This
do?
is the person that he was another crook, but this is another person. This guy's name was, um,
Oh, this is somebody different. Oh, I'm sitting running my mouth.
Colonel Tuka Yusuf Abdi Ali. He was a guy, and my close friend told me about this. He was a guy who pretended to be a Somalilander in the U.S. and he was driving an Uber and a taxi cab, right? And he was hiding from his war crimes. He was a war criminal in Somalia, right?
Okay.
And he was found for crimes in 2019. So he was hiding in the U.S.
Where?
He was a criminal in Somalia. And you mentioned Somali pirates. And you know what these people do? They attack the Somalilanders because Israel supported Somaliland. And I think our President Trump did too, right? He supported Somaliland as well. Because Somaliland is a democratic nation in East Africa. And all these Muslims, and it's a Muslim nation, all the Muslims were like, we're not going to stand with Somaliland. We stand with Somalia, who did all the crimes, right? Isn't that wild? They went with the country that's a democratic country that is has equity and equality. And instead of going with that country, they go with the country that has done war crimes to this other country. Isn't that crazy? That's insane, right?
Dude, wait, hold on a second. So they captured this guy. Has he been put on trial for war
He
crimes?
got extradited back to Somalia. He's
really? He's gone?
Somalia, yeah.
Okay. Well, so here's kind of a funny thing. So the Somaliland, I've been looking into this. Evidently, it's thriving. I mean, it's still a dirt poor African nation, but compared to Somali, it's like a paradise. Okay, they're actually economically thriving. They are. I mean, honestly, they're doing really good. So yes, Israel just recognized it. United States of America's recognized it. Other countries are supposedly coming online to recognize it, and it's driving the Muslim Ummah crazy. Because as you said, Israel supports it, so it must be bad. But let's face it, these dudes are the same dudes. I mean, no, not just them, but it's lefty communists, okay? All right? So they are actually supporting Maduro from Venezuela. They're actually out in the streets right now in Chicago, New York City, all over the country with the same printed signs, all of a sudden spontaneous in different states and different cities, with the same printed signs, professionally printed, saying "Free Maduro." I mean, really, dude.
He was a villain. Maduro was a horrible villain.
Yes, but
the Venezuelans starve.
Yes, but they want him freed. They said, no, go look at, dude, this is crazy. It's like Trump for his next trip. I'm going to make you support a dictator. Watch this. But anyway, no, the world is like upside down when it comes to this. But yeah, so you know what? For me, it's my New Year's resolution. I'm opening up a daycare. I'm just letting you know.
You're bad.
Very lucrative, it seems.
You know, I have an insert that's happening. I'm going to be doing a debate on modern day debates with, and I think I sent it to you, with Apostate Prophet, and we're debating Israel versus Palestine. Not Israel versus Palestine, Israel versus Hamas. So that's our debate. So
yeah, that's going to be good.
So
I didn't realize that you were in on that. Hold on, let me.
Yeah, I'm one of the debaters. So Apostate Prophet, Apostate Prophet, and I are partners.
And when is that?
Junior, our best friend Junior. So you'll get to see Junior.
Junior's awesome, man.
Junior and Julian. So
who's Julian though?
I have no idea. It's someone who said that they would defend Hamas.
And what day is this? What day is this?
It's going to be the 12th or the 13th. It's on YouTube. I sent
scheduled for 12 January 2026 debate con.
It's going to be on
Prophet and Isa versus Junior and Julianne.
Yeah, Julian. We don't have no idea who Julian is. It's just it was hard to find someone who would support Hamas openly. So
And Israel or Hamas, who's more in the wrong? Well, who's more in the wrong?
I know that's James wanted that. The thing is we were looking at Hamas, a resistance group or a freedom fighter group. But the thing is, I've been doing a lot of research. I have my presentations ready. I'm doing volunteer work here in Israel, and I want to show this. I have a little show and tell here.
What is this?
This is
Created from a rocket that landed in.
Yes,
Oh wow!
yeah,
Wow!
you can buy stuff made from Hamas rockets. I get that stuff all the time on my
I
email.
love that.
Oh, that's pretty cool, actually.
And I supported the artist. It was expensive, but I was like, it's worth it. Like, I'm supporting the artist. And I also got this.
What's that?
From?
This is from. Here, I'll flip it around.
Can't
read it.
You're moving. Quit moving it around.
Sorry.
I can't read it. Can't read it.
It says Iron Dome Creations. So this is from the
Okay.
So the thing is that what the Iron Dome does is it defends from these rockets. We were learning that the rockets are made out of $200 and it's infrastructure from Gaza that is being used. Things that should be for the Gazan people. They take the infrastructure and use it to do horrible things to the Israelis, which are a combination of multiple people. It's Muslims, Christians, Jews, Druze. And one of the things I'm going to make, like I want to engage, I happened to just wander into this place while I was traveling, but I wandered to the garden, the garden tomb. Do you know what the garden tomb is? Are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
I had no idea what it was. Like I just happened to walk while I was walking to Jerusalem, and I was like, "Whoa, this is what the garden tomb is." It's like where
it's separate. It's a separate it's an alternative burial place of Christ outside of the Holy Sepulchre.
And I went to the Holy Sepulchre and it was like really amazing. So can you imagine if Hamas had power? They would destroy these sites because Hamas doesn't believe that Jesus was crucified, right? And was raised. So they're going to say, well, we want to destroy this site because it's blasphemy. You don't want these people to have power. They'll destroy these sites, And it's funny because Al-Aqsa, because it was actually called Tufan al-Aqsa, the Islamic, the Al-Aqsa flood. That's what 10/7 was, right? So Tufan al-Aqsa is the Al-Aqsa flood. And the goal of it was to take over Al-Aqsa. I'm like, Al-Aqsa is run by Muslims. It's run by Jordanians. Why do you need to take it over? Like, it doesn't even make sense from your logical point of view. Do you think Jordanians aren't Muslims? I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
Well, with the where was I going? With the Holy Sepulchre has already been destroyed by the Muslims. The Holy Sepulchre that's there now is not the original Holy Sepulchre built by Constantine. It was destroyed right before the First Crusade.
That's what it was destroyed by the he was a Shia imam, but it was destroyed, and that's what actually prompted the First Crusade. Well, that, and he also burned all kinds of churches throughout the Holy Land.
Right.
I mean, he was destroying everything.
But the Holy go ahead. Right.
Well, I was just going to say, Issa, remind me to see if I can find that video, if you don't have it, of one of the leaders of Hamas bragging on one of the Arabic TV shows after October 6th, how they fooled the world and Israel. He actually says, we made them think that we were interested in governing, when really we were just interested in destroying Israel. So he basically admits we're not interested in governing our people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, send that to me.
I'll have to find it. Yeah.
I'm working on compiling all the data, but it's been pretty insane. Like what Hamas wants to do. Hamas, their goal in their charter, they actually did another manifesto that was released because their other manifesto from like 2024 kind of pulled back what they were saying, but then in 2025 they just went out and they just said whatever. They were like, yeah, we're not really interested in peace. We just want to destroy. And I'm like, oh. And I'm like, who's taking all the pictures of babies? And I was like looking into this and I'm like, it's Hamas taking these pictures, right? And they're selectively using the photos, and there's real suffering, but they're selectively using these photos in order to manipulate people. It's a manipulation, campaign, and it's sickening and it's vile,
Well, it seems to me, I might be wrong on this, but it seems to me that, let me bring this up here, that you've discussed this before. I don't know, here it is.
The Roman Empire was awful. Like I don't know how else
Is
to
this
put
you?
it. But
Yeah, it's,
looking at the story, so the
I
Byzantine Empire was not so
don't
great
know.
either.
It seems like you should already know about all of this, if I'm not mistaken. 'Cause I remember that stream, and the stream, I mean, when is this dated? 2 years ago, but it was right before. I'll tell you, I know it was right before, because we went through this stream on this show and critiqued the imam from Houston on what his responses were as far as what is Hamas and his essentially he was in denial of what Hamas was, what it did. And then it turns around 2 weeks after you were on this stream is when October 7th happened. I remember this almost plain
That's
as
wild.
day. Yeah,
That's
it
wild.
was maybe not 2 weeks, maybe it was a month. But if it was a month, that would be an outside. I mean, it was. Let me see here. It does not say, but I specifically remember that. Yeah, Hamas is nothing more than just a bunch of terrorists that they're motivated by their religion, and their religion calls for the destruction and the death of Jews. It's not any more complicated than that. They're using this excuse that their land has been stolen from them, which is baloney. It's not. It was not stolen. The people that are there now, and this is maybe something you want to look at, is how many people genuinely live in Gaza had ancestors that lived in Gaza. What is this? 2026? 100 years ago. 100 years ago. The majority of the people, the majority of the Muslims that came to Israel because Israel, the Jews, when they came back into the land, beginning after the Balfour Declaration, and they had this steady influx of Jews coming in and buying up this land in Israel at exorbitant prices, they started creating all of these jobs that were taken by indigenous people that lived there, and and other peoples that were migrating into the area because of the opportunities that the Jews were providing because of their wanting to restore the land. So that would be a great thing to research, to see what type of statistics are out there on that, because once you get them on that point, they have no claim to the land. Seriously, they have no claim to the land. They claim they do, but they don't. They have no. There was no Palestine prior to 1948. There was no government there. There's never been any record of if you look all the way back to the time, even the time of Muhammad, there's a continuum there of there's no Palestine. There's the Ottoman Empire in all the way up from right after
even the Quran says the land belongs to the Jews. That it claims that Allah gave it to the Jews.
Exactly.
So,
and they know that they call it
they have no claim, and not even in the Quran.
And they call it the Holy Land. They don't call it the Promised Land. They call it the Holy Land. But what I was saying is that the Ottoman Empire comes into existence essentially right after the Crusades, and they ruled that land all the way up until 1920. And then after the dissolution of the Ottoman Empire, because of why? Well, they lost World War I, and this is what happens when you lose wars. There's consequences, especially if you fight for the wrong side. Your land is taken from them. And then this is where you had the British mandate in that land. And then after the British mandate, you have Israel. So there's no record of any Palestinian government ever ruling that land. This idea of a Palestinian people is an invention of Yasser Arafat. That's all it is. Yasser, if you look at what he did, what he taught, it all can be traced right back to him.
You know what's interesting? One thing I wanted to add to that quickly is that it was fascinating because there's a reason why there was the British mandate that there's a huge swath of land that was given to Jordan.
We'll show that in a second, Brent. Go ahead.
There was a huge amount of land that was given to Jordan. A lot of people don't know that. A huge amount of land, the mandate was Jordan and Israel. It was actually the combination of both of these spaces. And, Gaza, West Bank, and East Jerusalem, all of these places, you could say Palestine, Jordan, and Israel. But if we're being political, the situation is that what happened was, the British just gave a huge point. But the reason why they did this is that the Arabs rebelled against the Ottoman Empire. There was an Arab revolt. So because the British promised to help them. Lawrence of Arabia went to the Arabs, and it's wild. It's like a really wild story. It's like a story of treachery that, isn't really even discussed in the history. But it's hard for me because I think about, I was researching, I said, what countries have the best minority rights? I was comparing Jewish country, Israel to Muslim countries. I said, let me do this, and I have data for this. So I'm going to bring this up in my argument. I said, if you think Israel is intolerant and is a fascist apartheid state to its minorities, let's look at the facts. And the facts that I found was from like a census from 2024. It said Israel has like a 7.5 or something like that, but it beats out every Muslim country in the entire world, Muslim majority country. It beats all of them out. There's not even one that is even close. Like, there are some that are close, but they're still significantly apart. The one after Israel is like Malaysia and Indonesia and Senegal. It's not like, where Pakistan is? It's like down at like 3.0.
I don't understand what your scale is, though. I don't understand. What do you mean by that?
You know what? Well, hold on. Let me just interject here, real quick. That's going to be lost on the dude.
There, Red.
Do I get an echo?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me turn down. Oh, where is it? Hold on. How about now? Is that any better? Is that any better?
It's a little better.
Oh, no. Okay. So yeah. Well, first of all, that's great stuff, but it's going to be totally lost on what's his name? I mean, he's just going to blow right over that. Just ignore that. I mean, no, I guarantee you what he will claim when you bring up this, best rights for minority rights. He's going to say, yes, gay and lesbians, LGBTQ, trans, all those rights. We don't want that. That's filthy. Blah, blah, blah. Okay? Just to let you know. But I found the video. I think this will have the best impact. Hamas. No, seriously, I would ask the question. 1. What did Hamas accomplish for the Palestinian cause on October, was it 6th, right? October 6th or 7th?
7th.
October 7th. Yeah. Was it a good thing what they accomplished? And then play this video. Well, you're going to have to watch the subtitles. I'll make it bigger. Hold on. Here we go. Can you hear it?
Yep. Yeah.
أن ساعة الصفر كانت سرية للغاية. عدد محدود من قيادة حماس يعرف أقل من أصابع اليد الذين كانوا يعرفون عن العملية وتوقيتها. وحماس سلوكها في السنتين الماضيات إنه عقلاني وما بتدخل في حروب وما وقفت مع الجهاد الإسلامي في معركته السابقة. لكن هاي كانت ضمن استراتيجية.
So let me just pause it there. So it was a rational approach. Did you get that? Hamas adopted a rational approach. That means they deliberately did this. Okay, they didn't do little skirmishes, blah blah blah. In other words, they were preparing for this for years. Okay, right there. But all this was part of Hamas' strategy in preparing for this attack. Let us continue.
انه حماس مشغوله بالحكومه في غزه
Of
وبدها
course. Wait. Oh, I
على
missed it. I
مليونين
missed
ونص
it.
فلسطيني
One
made
how
them,
it
مليونين ونص في
made them
غزه
think Hamas was
وبدها
busy with governing. There it is.
Yeah. Let me find that. Okay.
مشغوله
Okay.
بالحكومه في
Of course, we made them think that Hamas was busy with governing Gaza. And this is what you're going to have to highlight, okay? You're going to have to pause it here, Issa, and highlight this. What does governing mean? That means taking care of roads and infrastructure, water purification, streets and sanitation, basic needs of any modern society, healthcare. Okay, well they weren't doing that; they just gave that over to UN. But the bare basics of governing a modern society. So boom. Streets and sanitation, trash removal and disposal, water reclamation and water resources, and as well as getting rid of sewage and stuff like that. Okay, they weren't doing this, and this is how, dude. I mean, when I saw this, I was like, oh, they definitely got to go. But let's continue. Okay.
غزه وبدها تدير بالها على مليون
And that it wanted to focus on the 2.5 million Palestinians in Gaza. They weren't.
ونص فلسطيني وملتهيه وخلص تركت
And it's
المقاومه
banning the resistance
لكن حماس من
altogether.
تحت الطاوله كانت تحضر لهذه العمليه
Was
الكبيره
preparing for the
وصواريخ
big
المقاومة
attack.
اليوم بتغطي كل فلسطين. وين بده ياخذهم على تل ابيب؟ ما احنا من اليوم الاول قصفنا تل ابيب، بده ياخذهم على الجليل. الجبهه الشماليه انفتحت اليوم مع لبنان، يعني ليست آمن الجليل الآن للعدو الصهيوني ونحن
See this?
قادرون أن
Now remember,
الجليل
okay,
من
I'm gonna
فلسطين
pause it.
المحتلة.
So I want to comment on this. You let me know if you want to watch any more. But basically, this is like the day after, or a couple days after, when they're still riding high off of this, and they're claiming this is a great victory. You know what I mean? So Issa, just this is how I would just play this. I would just play this video, and after it's done, I would ask them, what did Hamas do for the Gazan people? You know
I
what I
totally
mean?
would, but I don't think they let you play videos. So I'll probably I'll quote this type of thing, but I think the issue is I think it's intense, and I think the best argument I'm going to bring up is I'm going to bring up the Muslim argument. I said Hamas is dangerous to Muslims.
Yes.
It is dangerous to the Muslim community. It will destroy the Muslim community. There are Muslims who don't pray 5 times a day. Imagine if you have this fascist dictatorship that takes over. It's going to force everybody to pray 5 times a day. Look at Pakistan. Look at Iran. Do you want this country to look like this? It's going to force women to wear a niqab or a hijab. Is this the kind of world you want? What's going to happen if you're a Palestinian Christian? What about if you're a Palestinian Druze, Palestinian Jew? What about if you're any identity that's not your standard Palestinian Sunni Muslim? What about if you're Ahmadiyya, Ismaili? It's terrible.
I agree with you, but he's just going to respond, yes, that's what we want. If he's true to Islam.
But I would say, well, you're supposed to be the Islamic State, but you're not for all Muslims. You're just for some Muslims. So you can't even protect your own Muslim. You can't even follow your own Muslim value. So that's it.
Well, I would print out the transcript of this, and I would read that to him, and I would say, seriously, how were they governing? If they were good for the Gazan people, or they were good for the Palestinian people, how were they governing? How did this help the Palestinian people? You know what I mean? I mean, this dude, look what it's done. No, look what this has done. This has completely upset the power balance in the Middle East. Hezbollah is completely destroyed now. They're neutered. Okay, Iran right now. You know what the people are doing? I got another video of that. I'll show you that. The people are using homemade flamethrowers on the Iranian guard. Okay, they're torching them in the streets, dude. Iran is about to fall right now. And because Israel totally decimated them because they decided to join on the side of Hezbollah, they got nothing to back this up. I guarantee you, within a month, if the people can keep doing this, Iran will, the mullahs will fall within a month. As long as the real resistance, see, that's what you got to bring up too, the real resistance, okay, to the Iranian mullah tyranny. Oh yeah, I would totally tie that in. I would totally tie that in because, first of all, he's a Sunni Muslim, so he ate Shia to begin with, right? Okay? So what's he going to say to that? Yes, they're resisting the mullah. That is the true resistance. Anyway, that's just my thing. That's how I would handle it. I would play it. If you come up there with stats, I mean, let's face it. This dude is not that bright. It's just gonna go over his head. He's just gonna be like, yeah, but we got Allah. You know what I mean? Anyway, I know. I look forward to seeing it, but yeah, it should be great. I'm sorry to interrupt and interject on that, but
No,
that's
you're
just
good.
that's just my kind of thing on that. But I'll send you the link to that video, and I think that's devastating, dude. That's devastating to anyone who believes that Hamas is a good thing when they ultimately say right there, we have no interest in governing. You know what I mean? We just want to kill Jews, pretty much.
I'm going
Well,
to
I'm
look at their
looking-
constitution. Their constitution and their manifesto is necessary. And if we compare it to Israel, we see that Muslims are protected here in the Muslim quarter. I said if you had the shoe fit the other foot and Hamas had control, you would have no Christian minority. You would
And
have
you'd be
no,
okay with it.
Jewish minority, Druze minority. They would all be, destroyed and subjugated. So
Yeah, but that's what he wants. I mean, he has said that. You know what I mean? He has said that in one of the debates that's what he wants. He does. No, he said I will never bow down with the LGBTQ flag or whatever he said at a mosque like that. No, he is not interested in anything like that. He wants to kill Jews. Look at his tweets. He actually says that constantly, all the time. Kill the Jews. But anyway, I'm sorry. But yeah, I think I'm sorry, Issa. Don't go away, please. Anyway.
Oh, I'm here. I just
Oh,
don't
okay.
know what
I'm looking at the title of the debate. The title of the debate is Israel Hamas, who is more in the wrong?
the thing is.
I mean, what are you arguing? I mean,
So the thing is,
was
we're
Israel in the
arguing.
wrong for going in there and defending themselves? Or
That's the belief. No, they believe that Israel is an evil, rogue, genocidal state that is not real and wants to take over the world because Jews are evil, bad people, and they need to be they have to be stopped
it's
because
the same
they're
trope
doing a
you get
medieval
from the Middle
siege.
Ages, where you blame the Jews for everything that's wrong.
Well, that's literally what's happening here. That's what people are doing now. It's a rise of anti-Semitism. So that's the point. They're saying it's an evil place that wants to destroy Muslims.
And this is why no Muslim country will accept those from Palestine. It's hilarious. They consider this area supposedly sacred, but no Muslim country will accept people who call themselves Palestinian. No Muslim country will. That's a good point for him. But I thought we were going to talk about Somalia and fraud, though.
No, we're gonna get to Somalia.
I brought up the thing. Somalia was very important because it's connected to what I want to talk about, where Sid al-Barra did a genocide to the Somalilanders, and no one wants to talk about that, but they want to tell us how bad and evil Bibi Netanyahu was. That was the aside, and I just wanted to get your ideas about the.
Well, I'm just astonished. To be honest with you, as somebody that does history, I am astonished how many people are falling for this anti-Semitic trope. That, and I mean, and there's people on the right too. You know, you even get on Instagram and you get on. Well, look at Candace Owens is one of them. Tucker Carlson. I mean, they're all falling for this crap, and this is the same type of bilge that was put out there in 1939. I mean, it's not any different, folks. How the hell? I mean, how do you think that the Holocaust happened? How do you think that you can convince an entire country to hate an entire group of people? It's the type of crap that you keep seeing promulgated on our college campuses and in the streets, and it goes unchecked. And then if you say something about it, then you're the one that's given the beat down by the flippin' brown shirts. It's not any bit. I mean, this is history repeating itself once again. And until people wake up and start seeing it,
Hey, Rad, we're getting an echo off your mic. Yeah.
Off of me?
No, off Rad. Okay.
Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead and jump over to the video here. This is where we left off last week. Here you had Nick Shirley going through. Had this guy. What is this guy's name? This guy is like a gold mine of information. This is the guy that actually all the
he's actually, if I remember correctly, a member of the GOP or a former member of the GOP. He lives in the area where a lot of this happens. So okay. He's done research. He's a well-known researcher in the area.
His voice sounds like real familiar, like I've heard him in other things. So I don't know, but his name is David. That's all he goes by. Well, I think they did give his last name, but most everybody's just calling him David. No Twitter account, no nothing right now. I don't know, but he's actually one that did all the research. He just contacted this Nick guy. You know what I mean? But let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and play this beautiful.
All right, let's go ahead and listen to what this guy had to say. Let's go. We're 45 minutes into the show. Let's finally get to this.
Dollar swing in one biennium. How in the world can you burn through $24 billion in 2 years? This is how right here.
Okay, what he was doing is he was talking about how there was a swing from a, I don't know how many $1 billion surplus in Minnesota under Tim Walz, and then now you have a how many billion dollar deficit. I think he said it was 28 billion, and for a state that is just astonishing. That swing.
Real quick note. Remember, Tim Walz. We'll have to get the debate footage. But he actually bragged about how his state had this a multi-billion-dollar surplus in money. But and now all of a sudden the crap has hit the fan now, and the reports are coming out because they wasted all the money. Now they're like $2 billion in debt. Okay,
and that's the same show where he was bragging they had the best health care.
Exactly. Yeah. We got the best health care. Right. Yeah. No. Seriously, dude, the dude is a total fraud, dude. The only reason why all these states, Illinois, I remember Pritzker bragging about how we have a balanced budget for the first time and we have a surplus. And the same thing with Newsom. Remember that? All that stuff that they were doing with the balanced budget and their surplus was all COVID money. Was all that COVID money that they sent to the state. They counted that in as regular finances. Okay, they intermixed it. They just screwed it all up, dude. No, seriously, all these blue states, they just blew through the money. But go ahead, let's continue. Sorry.
This is a huge part of it.
And so would you say a lot of that is fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Absolutely. I would say better than 90% of it is absolute outright fraud.
And a large percentage of this fraud is from these healthcare companies that are charging the state millions of dollars while they actually aren't providing anything. In fact, the FBI just did a raid a few days ago on a building similar to the one we are about to enter. Inside of this building, there were 14 of nearly the exact same businesses offering the exact same services.
Right here, you have a list of all of the healthcare companies.
Okay, so African immigrants, Dollar General, First Day Health, or First Day Care, Hashi, Helping Hands, Senior Pub. Okay, and then whatever that is. Okay. Oh, Somali Communion of Minnesota. There you go. Somali Bernandi Communion. Okay.
Loads of them
Present Help.
We want help.
No, do you see those names? Present Help. They're just generic names.
Safari Services.
Yes, we'd like to speak about getting healthcare here. No. Why can't I get healthcare here?
Wait, what does that say?
You are under video surveillance. No trespassing. Security armed.
Why do you have a security armed?
Yeah, why do you have no trespassing signs at a business that you're running? I want people to trespass my business so I can get business that's legitimate.
Yes.
This is the strangest place I've ever been to get healthcare. Just a bunch of different places. Healthcare here, healthcare right here.
Okay, look at this. Back up. Look at this door. I'm a business.
Bunch.
Oh, look at this door.
Different places. Healthcare.
What the heck is this? What do you have this? I mean, it looks like somebody took a piece of paper and just ripped it off. You're supposed to be running a business.
Better Home
And
Healthcare
look at the torn piece
business.
of paper. There's a torn piece of paper below. Wouldn't you remove that? Wouldn't you want to make your door look professional? That's pretty
Yeah, that's
shocking.
what I'm
You get what I
saying.
mean? It
Well,
looks disgusting and gross.
Clearly, they are graduates from the Quality Learning Center. Do you know those morons actually misspelled also the name of the street when they put it in their address? Okay, on the door, they
Okay, hold on.
misspelled that too.
We're gonna call this center here. Hold on.
Okay.
All right. Better Home Healthcare. Oh, Better Home Healthcare.
Well, I'm sure it's gonna go to voicemail, but we'll see what their voicemail says.
So no, this is the cell. Better Home Healthcare. Nobody's answering.
So it's
that- wait.
open Monday to Friday.
Hold on.
The voicemail for Better Home Healthcare. If you want to reach Abdi Fatah Koyan, please call 612-483-9531.
That's the phone number I just called.
Please Muhammad, please call 952-457-899. Thank you for calling Better Home Healthcare. We look forward to talking to you soon.
No,
That was too many numbers.
yeah. Well, they're on the door. The second one the first one she gave was the number that I called, and then this second one right here is the one that she gave for whatever it was. Who knows?
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. So let's go back.
I'm sorry, that voice sounds so fraudulent. It sounds like an AI voice.
Probably.
Here, healthcare right here. Another healthcare company right here.
Okay, look at the door. Come on. I mean, what are you doing? If you're trying to attract people to your business, if this is your business, this is not a door or a sign.
What does that sign say? 70 Center?
Serenity Center,
Center.
LLC, Key Care Services, Blue Home Health.
Dude, wait,
There's
that's
no phone
three.
number.
No, wait.
There are.
That's three businesses. Three businesses at the same door, 7C.
Yeah.
Look at that, three
Healthcare
businesses.
companies inside of
Oh, he
this
just said it.
building right here in this room of 7C. Now we have
He just said
another
it.
Helping Hands, Home Care LLC, another healthcare company. Present Help right here. We're looking for the best rates of healthcare here inside this building because we have so many options. Who can we talk about getting the best healthcare?
I don't know.
No?
Sorry.
All right. We will not get any healthcare here. David, this is one of the stranger places I've ever been.
That's a security, by the
Literally,
way.
healthcare every door you go to.
Is that the building security behind him?
No, that's his security. He
Oh,
actually
that's
did a
Nobody will
video
give
of
you a
that.
rate.
Yeah.
How much money do you think's been funneled through this building?
Every year, I would say 50 to 60 million at least.
And finally, we were accepted into one of the daycare centers and they actually took down our information to give us a rate. However, when we left, we were then met with the police.
We received a complaint that gentleman mentioned your description.
Oh, I got something to show you guys. Hold on, I forgot about this. Okay, let me bring this up. Sorry. Okay, here is this kid that, you remember that daycare that got broken into and they stole the records from?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
They didn't steal anything. They just stole the paperwork, okay? That's
And
this
they-
kid right here.
And they cut out squares in the walls like they stole the go bag money. You know what I mean?
It's funnier because they actually didn't break in from the outside. They broke they made it look like somebody was breaking out rather than breaking in.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
Let's listen to it. Oh wait, can you hear it?
I can't know.
All right, because I don't have the volume on. Dog Vanya.
Yep, those nice little buttons.
Okay. So he's got. Okay, look at the glasses. The glasses that he has on are $2,200 for the glasses. These are Meta AI glasses that this guy has on. Okay, and he's in a club. He's out clubbing, and look what they're doing. This is the
drinking
daycare
alcohol.
worker.
Good Muslims.
This is
Good Muslims.
the daycare worker. Oh yeah, look at the alcohol. Look at these guys. Look at all the cash
Dude,
on the table.
that's
Look at that.
look at the girl on at the pole. That's a strip club.
Oh my gosh, it is.
I always notice the naked girl. I'm just saying that's just
Oh
me.
wow.
But yeah,
Look at this.
stacks of cash, yo.
Okay, so here you have. Let's see here. Fitted cap, $40. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, he's got another pair of glasses here. Sorry, $1,200. Hoodie. How can a hoodie cost $1,100?
It's a brand name.
No, it can't be $1,100 for a hoodie.
Dude,
Totally.
they actually do.
Canadian Goose is like $1,000.
Yeah, they
Canadian
do.
Goose like hoodie, like coats, $1,000 plus. Balenciaga shoes, if that is what it is, that's $1,000 shoes.
Okay, and he's got a
I know
Corvette.
because I taught students. My students, like, they would buy extremely expensive clothing. Like, they would work so they could get really, really expensive clothing. I saw a girl come into my class with a Canadian Goose jacket, which is like 1,000 plus. It's crazy. I know. I feel you. You're like, why would you spend that much money on clothes?
Okay,
And it's not
okay,
like it has a higher level of period.
okay. So if I can't open the daycare center, Issa, tell me what high school this is. I'm gonna go there. We're just gonna rob them, and we're just gonna strip them naked, and we'll sell the clothes. You know, we'll split the
That's
money.
insane. How
I'm
can you spend
serious,
$1,100 on
So
a
bad.
flipping hoodie? Who does that?
yeah, that's just stupid.
Make millions off fraud.
Dude, I've delivered with the Uber Eats. I've delivered a $20 smoothie from some smoothie place. That was like $10 for them to buy, and they tipped me $20, and I literally drove it like a half a mile down the road. Yeah, I mean, it makes no sense what people do with their money. Anyway, well, yeah.
Okay, notice he's a Corvette also. He's standing in front of a Corvette.
That looks like a Stingray too.
Yeah, this guy, I mean, the other one that I had, hold on, was actually him complaining about it. I think this is it. Let me make sure I got
Meanwhile, while we're waiting, remind me.
He's in front of a Mercedes here too, also.
So I was looking at Chrome Hearts. Chrome Hearts stuff costs thousands of dollars. So yeah, just that brand, it's crazy. They said, oh, you know, he's wearing Chrome Hearts and he's complaining about whatever the problems are. I look at roll-on perfume is $220. A soap on a rope,
If that
$90.
soap, he's gonna be needing
rope?
that soap on the rope. Yeah, he's gonna be needing that.
Soap on a rope, $90. I'm not even kidding. A candle, you want to buy a candle from this place, $180.
Yeah, well, he's gonna be investing in that soap on the rope. This dude better go to federal prison. That's his house.
Yeah, evidently. I mean,
Wow.
it's insane. And we're supposed to feel sorry for this. I mean, if there's no more blatant example of getting ripped off, and here's this kid, and this kid got the audacity to come out and say, oh, well, they broke into our joint and they stole. Who steals documents? If you're going to go to that amount of trouble to break through a flipping wall, and you're going to take documents, really?
And you don't even break in from the outside.
But see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you look at that, well, some of the pictures I saw, okay, because I've been watching Better Call Saul, the reruns. I'm kind of finishing up now. But if you look at it, that is honestly where these dudes stash the money. Okay, the cash money, they'll put it in the wall and they'll just drywall over it, and that's their go bag. So it looks like he grabbed the go bag. You know what I mean? He grabbed the bag of cash. That's what he was there for. The documents, yeah, he took out, but that's not going to help him if it goes to trial, because if he doesn't provide documents that prove that he was actually had 60 to 80 kids in his daycare, you know, from the time that he was billing the federal government, then guess what? He's screwed because the federal government's going to go by what they have, and that is his billing records. You know what I mean? So he's screwed. Either way, he's stupid. This is 80 IQ stuff. And seriously, people with an 80 IQ have outsmarted the state government of Minnesota. You know what I mean? But anyway, bring up the rest of the video because there's some key points that are made.
You don't have to be that smart in order to outwit him. I mean, the guy
right. Let's go back to the video. Okay, I want you to pay attention. Let's play this, and I'm going to ask you to stop at certain points. But go ahead.
We're in this building harassing the individuals who stay here.
Oh, we're checking out the rates for healthcare. Because there's 14 healthcare companies inside this building, so.
Okay.
Well, that's not what he said. He said there's 14 companies here, and he's trying to assume because they're Somali providers, everyone here is fraudulent.
Okay. So
he's here with some kind of like propaganda.
No, we're just checking.
Okay, so it's automatically a Somali thing. There's 14 Somali companies here, so this is a propaganda. Baloney. You're ripping off the government, and you're trying to play the race card here.
No, this is a area that we're allowed to enforce trespassing ordinance. Is there any other reason that you guys are here?
Well, we were checking rates.
No, he's not.
We were checking rates. We asked for rates.
No, you're not.
Okay, stop.
If you guys are all good.
Stop the video. Stop the video. Did you hear what that officer said? This is an area where we are allowed to enforce trespassing. Do you know what that means? That means that there are other places they are not allowed to enforce trespassing. Like, say, in a Walgreens grocery store, when someone goes in there and shoplifts under $1,000 because that's only a writable, ticketable offense, okay? Or some homeless dude passes outside in your front lawn. No, that's a homeless guy. We cannot trespass around. These are the goofy laws the state of Minnesota has, also the state of Illinois, and the state of California, state of Washington, state of Oregon have. That's what he means. But why is he allowed to enforce trespassing at a place where there are heavily Somali businesses?
I asked the same question, Rad.
Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah.
I thought it was humorous.
Yeah. But continue on because he repeats it again, multiple times. You actually go play it. Go play it. Go ahead.
All right, let's leave. So, all right, we're getting escorted out right now. The police have arrived. We were checking out the rates, seeing what was happening inside this building. No one would really speak with us. We did go inside the one daycare center, and she actually did give us rates for childcare. Much respect to that lady. What's the problem, officer?
Well, so again, we've been getting reports from multiple individuals that you guys were harassing individuals who work here. At the end of the day, this is private property, and it's one that people are allowed to ask you to leave, and it's also one the Minneapolis Police Department is allowed to enforce trespassing ordinance at this address.
Yeah.
Stop it. So he specifically says, and this is one of those that the Minneapolis Police Department is allowed to enforce trespassing. Specifically, he says, at this address. That means they have other addresses that are private property that they are not allowed to enforce trespassing. And for those that don't know, who've never been trespassed, trespassing means they can actually arrest you and take you to jail, or they can escort you out if you leave willingly. Okay, it's up to the owner or the manager of the place, but they can say no. We want you trespass, get off our property, and then if you come back, you're arrested on site. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a big deal when you trespass, okay? But no, this is seriously, in other places in Minneapolis, you can trespass on private property, and the police cannot remove you because you are not authorized. And this one just happens to be owned or operated by a bunch of Somalis. I wonder why.
I can't understand why people would be upset or would not want to provide information about their business. Somebody that was inquiring. If you were legitimate, what's that?
If you're a fraud, you've got no rates. That's the only thing that makes sense.
And that's what these get. And this is what fraud people who are perpetrating a fraud do. Is they?
I mean, you should at least think that somebody might come and ask those questions.
Yep. Exactly. Yep.
As we got escorted out of this building, the Somalis filmed us as we left, and we headed over to the next building that had 22 of the same home health care providers operating from inside of the building.
Right here you have multicultural Home Care. And right here it says it's open, but can't even get in. Another Reliance Recovery Center. Mercy and Grace Care, Inc. Right here you have Den Eritrean Youth Development Association of Minnesota. Another child care center. Welcome to Bright Beginning Center. But what do you guys think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Sorry. No comments. Can I please?
Right here you have Serenity.
Okay, is that a daycare center that he was just in?
That's what it was. That first one was a.
What do you guys think about
that? That is a daycare center. Is what
fraud
you're
that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Sorry. No comments. Can I please?
Right here you have Serenity Quality Care. All of these businesses are literally the same type of business, providing the same service in the same building. Another Convenience Home Healthcare Aid Inc. and Child Friendly Space. All these companies get money from the government. Why would you have the same company essentially inside of the same building, door to door? Right here, Queenly Home Healthcare. It just does not make sense. If you're trying to operate a business, you'd want to have less competition. But here, they have all of their competition right next door. We're wondering, because we hear there's lots of fraud taking place here in Minnesota, and we're wondering, why is there so many of the same companies inside of this same building?
No, I don't know that.
What do you think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
I don't have any idea about that fraud, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
What do you think about the news articles and what's being spread on the news about the fraud?
Right now, you are doing something wrong.
I'm just asking you
No, you
about
don't
the
have
fraud.
to ask me, okay? Don't ask me that question again.
Okay.
Okay?
Who can I speak to?
Yeah?
Who can I speak to?
Yes, Kufar, you are doing something wrong. Not us, not as Muslims.
Cather.
I want to say something too. If you're honest, why would you have any problem with that? You're like, I mean, if people are like, if it was me, I'd be like, well, if people are doing fraud, that's bad. We're not doing it. If you want to see what we're doing, we'll be transparent. Unless you're doing the fraud too.
Yeah, it's so blatantly obvious. I mean, and then if these guys are not in jail by the end of the month, there's just no. We have this two-tier justice system in this country.
As you confront about the fraud, they get angry. When these people have these home healthcare companies, you're seeing them everywhere inside this building. What kind of fraud are they committing?
So there's false documentation being submitted to the state of Minnesota for services never provided. They're having forms signed in advance for services that were then never rendered. As far as a year or 2 years in advance, they'll have someone sign these forms at one sitting, and then they just file those with the state of Minnesota, and nobody from the state of Minnesota bothers to check that those services were ever provided.
So they're essentially just using people saying that they had these services provided months or even years ago, then filing the paperwork and then receiving money from the government.
Right, and the Somali community is a very closed community, so everybody's in on it, and they don't want to talk, as you can see.
And for this building,
And that's the problem. It's like the mob. So trying to get these people to rat each other out is going to be almost impossible. You're going to have your ducks in a row, and you have to have all that evidence. Then this is where it was right after, I think it was Monday, they had videos of FBI going into these buildings and carting off boxes. That's exactly what needs to happen. You have to bring these people down right away. What was that?
I was going to say that the guy who owns the building has to be getting a huge kickback from each one of these companies, and rather than charging rent, he's probably getting a percentage of the take.
Probably, yeah, you're probably right on that. Yeah, and I'd be interested in who owns the building. I mean, that's a matter of public record.
Yes, it's probably a subsidiary company owned by another company Yeah. That's how this works.
Yeah.
I'm going to give an estimate of around $30 million for how much fraud is taking place. That is a very low estimate. However, still a lot of money in fraud.
And do you think there is fraud taking place here?
I don't know. Yeah.
Do you have any idea what any of these businesses are doing?
I never ask.
And now, with upwards of $100 million in fraud, we headed to one more daycare. And this one gets a little spicy as we get chased out at the very end. And after this, we'll be heading to the state capitol to confront the incompetent government leaders who have enabled this fraud to happen.
And I knew this video was going to be super dangerous to film because of obviously how hostile it is, and as we are exposing legit fraud happening. I did get security for this video, and I was able to do it through the Black Line Guardian. And if you guys want to help fund my security in the future, you can go down to the link down below. They're not paying me to say any of this. They came and decided to help me out for this video. So you can go to Black Line Guardian, the link's down below, and click Guardian for Nick, and those funds will directly go to my security and future videos as we are exposing lots of things happening, and especially with this fraud. Like I said, they're not sponsoring this video. I'm just giving them a shout out because of how they helped me. So go down to the link down below, click Guardian for Nick, and let's keep going. And now we're going to the next location. Now, this child daycare center, this one's different than all the other ones we've been to. Tell us about this one.
This one is different because, according to the state of Minnesota, this 312 West Lake Street houses not one, not two, but 3 child care centers and is licensed to hold 102 children, and in fiscal year 2025 was paid $2.66 million by the state of Minnesota.
And this is the building right here. So this building alone made 2.6.
Okay, let me ask you guys. Would you take your kids to a building that had this on the side of it? It looks like gang defeat, for God's sake.
No way.
I wouldn't.
I'm kind of like, have any of you seen Pulp Fiction?
Oh yeah.
It looks like the basement of Pulp Fiction.
I mean, look at the door here is the trim is all rotted out.
Yeah, there's a lot of key things about this building that would make you wonder what the interior was like, because if they don't care about the exterior of the building, they're not going to care about the interior. That's one thing.
The exterior is what draws the confidence of the public in.
Yes, and there's no confidence there.
Right, and
the door is a mess. It says, "Don't bring your child here." That's what that says.
That's exactly right.
$6 million. Let's see if anybody's inside.
Are you taking your kid to a building?
Oh, wait! What's on the door?
Ifton Express. Horowitz. I don't even know what that is. I mean, it looks like.
It sounds like a delivery service.
It's like somebody threw a cup of coffee on there and it froze.
Now we're inside of the building where there's apparently 4 child care centers.
We met this lady.
Wait, back that up. Wait, back that up. Hold on a second. Here's something else. No. When they're inside. But then pause it.
Let's see if anybody's inside. Now we're inside of the building.
Pause it. Okay. I've also noticed all these buildings are like something from like the 1950s, dude. Look, there's no carpeting. There's no. I mean, this is like dystopian stuff. This is something out of a Marxist utopia. This is something you go to Soviet Russia for. You know what I mean? There's nothing on the walls. There's nothing. Look, it's dark, dingy. This is like you're walking into a public housing place. But go ahead and play it a little bit longer there.
Where there's apparently 4 child care centers.
We met
this lady. Look at it. They have an open kitchen there. Okay, so it's like the back end of a restaurant.
It's not exactly legal.
Young mind. Look at the sign here. This is the doorbell right here. And they got a handwritten sign. 29.
And we followed her to the back of the building where the daycare was supposedly.
Let's see, visitors. Sorry, no entry if no face mask.
And she's not wearing a face mask.
Oh, this is like, dude, it's 2025, not COVID. No, COVID's over with. What is it with these
So right
people?
here we have 2 child daycare centers. We have the Minnesota Child Care Center, and then we also have Nuna. Between the two, $2.66 million. Hello. Hi.
Why are you recording?
Yes. We would like to know.
Well, it says we're trying to figure out 102 children. Is that for this facility?
What is the name? Do I see the
It's from the state of Minnesota website. It says you have 102 children here in your child care.
Which child care name is a lot of
Minnesota Child Care right here. It's from the state of Minnesota's website. We're just wondering where the children are.
where the children are.
Yeah, where are the children? It says you have 102 children here, and you got $2.66 million this year in funding, and $2.5 million last year. We're just wondering where the kids are.
And who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley.
Nick Shirley.
And where are you? Which which department?
Oh, we are from ourselves.
Yeah.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going. Look at that. Shut us down. Where are the children at? No children inside of this daycare center. And look, at this daycare center right here, no children inside of this daycare center. But between those buildings, over $2.6 million. We were just curious, where are the children at? Do you know where the children are at?
Why are you hiding your face?
Where are the children at in these daycare centers?
I don't care.
How can these childcare centers have no children?
I don't know.
There's $2.6 million inside these businesses that were given by the government, but there's no children to be seen anywhere. People deserve to know where their taxes are going. If these companies and these daycare centers are making upwards of $2.6 million and there's no children to be seen anywhere, something fraudulent is happening. And that is not make you racist, Islamophobic. This is just the truth of what's happening here in Minnesota. If there's a bunch of white people doing the same thing, we'd be talking about the same issue. This is just fraud at unprecedented levels here inside of Minnesota. It's actually very concerning. Where are the children at inside?
Okay, this is the same, okay. If we remember this mass influx of immigrants we had during the past 4 years, or prior to Trump coming, 21 to 25, all the way up to 2025. All right. Upwards of 500,000 children went unaccounted for into this country. They come across the border, then the government could not account for where they all were, what their whereabouts were. I guess the number now, Holman was on the news the other night. He said they found 125,000 or 127,000 or whatever of them. This is the same thing. If you're supposed to have some sort of accountability for children, and Paul can answer this, and Issa probably can answer. You know, if you're in charge of a classroom, you have to maintain. I think it was last week they said positive accountability. You have to have positive control at all times of where those kids are. Right. You can't. I mean, you cannot. And it isn't like it's passive. Well, I think they're down there. No. You have to know exactly where they're at.
I had to know where my students were and I had to inform my kids, look, if I know where you are, that protects you and it protects me. I actually had somebody get accused of a crime while they were in the building. The catch was the student was in my room and I could testify for that student. Okay. I've had that happen a couple times and then I've had it happen where the kid just never showed up to my room. So those are things that actually, you know, you are so responsible when you're an educator. If you don't know where that kid is and they never showed up to your room, that's one story. But
here they just showed a picture of that daycare center. This is the daycare center, middle of the day. And they panned inside there and there were no children. There was nobody there. And this daycare center, this one is getting over $1 million a year from the government to watch kids. If you don't have any kid, I mean, I would think that there'd be kids all over the place.
I thought it was funny that one of the responses by the Somali community was, well, they're not there till 2:00. Really?
Well,
2 to 10
after school care. There are programs for after school care, but you still have daycare for kids during the day that are not in school or of school age.
Yeah, there are hours at the Quality Learning Center on a street that they misspelled as well. Oh, by the way, last I checked a couple days ago on Google Maps, okay, the Quality Learning Center is still spelled Leering, so they haven't corrected that, just to let you know. Yeah, this is the top right thing. But yeah, supposedly their hours are from 2:30 till 10 p.m. But here's the problem. The daycare is only licensed to operate from like 7 a.m. to 3. Yeah, so they're full of crap. Yeah. Okay. Oh, here's another fun fact. On the day that this video was released, and I checked it, okay, all right, it said on Google Maps it was closed permanently. The next day, okay, well, no, it was Sunday I checked it, but the next day on Monday, it said it was open, and that's when they had the new hours, and that's when they had all the MSNBC and CNN news crews there walking. Look, there's 3 children walking in right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
and then
clearly
they came out a few minutes later.
yeah. Well, and one last thing on this. Remember, they are billing, dude. Okay, so it's basically a rate of $20,000 a year per child. Okay, so they're billing 40 to some. It depends. You got to do the math. 40 to 60 children. Okay, that they have in their care. Okay, every day per year. You know what I mean? Well, what right? Okay, there's nobody there. There's not 40 to 60 kids. I guess it's that new Leering math. 4 really equals 40 now. Okay? And, here's another thing. Like you mentioned the other thing. They bill for the meals because there's a special meals program. So they're billing out for the meals. Oh, and the place that they're billing out the meals for that they're saying they bought the meals from? Well, that doesn't exist either. It's all, dude, they're feeding off on each other. This honestly, dude, politicians, bureaucrats that oversaw this and did nothing, they need to go to prison for this. Yeah,
that's exactly what I'm saying.
There's another guy who went to Columbus, Ohio. He went to Ohio, and he did this. Yeah, Columbus, Ohio. Do you want to share that? This is really brief, but it's called Muckrakers in Columbus, Ohio.
So right now we are in front of the Great Minds Learning Academy. This is one of the many daycare centers, learning centers here in Columbus, Ohio that are associated with the Somali community. As you know, Nick Shirley put out a bombshell report about all these fraudulent daycare facilities in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So we wanted to come out to Columbus, Ohio and investigate what might be going on in the second largest Somali community in the United States of America. So this place here is the first place we're going to knock, and we're going to see if anybody picks up or answers the door. Let's see.
What is that in front of the door?
I have no idea. I've been wondering that. It looks like a little kiddie seat or something.
So, it's locked. We're ringing the doorbell here.
You can see there's a light on.
Nobody's picking up. We're gonna get out of here. Now there's somebody over there. How you doing, sir? I'm sure you see the reports over the weekend about all the daycare centers in Minnesota. We just wanted to see what was going on. Did you know anything about this place here?
It's a daycare center owned by Somalians and stuff like that.
Do you ever see any kids there?
No, because they use the back door, so I won't know if they is.
They use the back door?
Yeah, I've never seen nobody come in here, but they use the back door.
But have you ever seen any kid? You live around here?
Yeah, on this building right here.
Oh, you're in this building?
Yeah.
You're in this building too? Hey, let me ask you, have you ever seen any kids in this place here?
No, not that I know of. They use the back, so I've never seen nobody come out the front.
You've never seen anybody over there?
No, not at all.
I just seen it, the building itself. I've never seen nobody come out the building or go in the building.
So we came to the back, just like those guys suggested, and there's nothing here. You know, we can keep poking around, but there's so many of these centers to go to. We're just getting started. So we're gonna go around the city. We're gonna go to a few more of these places. We're gonna see if we can get anybody to talk to us. Stay tuned.
Oh, is it echoing? Okay. One thing that I wanted to say is, if you're a company and your organization, I have certification from K to 12. Like, I was interested in going to like young children's centers to teach, right? The thing is, they're all open. That you see kids coming in. They have colorful stuff on the doors. You've seen these learning centers around, right?
Yes.
It is. I've never seen anything that looks like this.
Issa.
I wouldn't take my kids. I wouldn't take anybody's kids to a learning center, a learning center that look even anything close to this. There's nothing there for kids. We talked about this last week. Where do the kids play? That's what kids do. This is what they do. They play on playgrounds and equipment. There's nothing outside for these kids to do. I get it. It's winter, but still, you go outside during the winter. Yeah, we had this thing. It's called a coat that you put on the child, and you take them outside so they can play. They can play on a playground. There's nothing out there for those kids.
Issa,
That back,
since
that back, I'll just say the back for this place that I showed, it would not be considered safe for a child to be dropped off there, so they would not do that.
can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Hold on, Red. Just hold on,
Okay.
just a second. Why take them in the? Well, you're gonna welcome to the learning center or welcome to the daycare. We prefer that you go out the back door. Oh hell no! No, that's never gonna happen. Especially if the back door looked like that.
Well, just Issa, I want to say real quick, Issa. So if you got a license to, we are so opening a couple multiple learning centers. I'm just saying it pays really well, as you can see. Don't worry about it. We'll do it a lot smarter. We won't get caught. I promise you. I'm just saying.
You're fine. But the thing that I wanted to add is that those gentlemen and all the people I watched the Nick Shirley videos to, the Nick Shirley video, they never saw children at all. We're not even talking about playing. There's never any kids seen. Like they said, what do you mean? Where are the kids? Like they asked, I said, you've lived here for many years. Have you ever seen any children? They're like, no. And I'm like, yeah, at learning centers, you're going to see kids coming in. When I was teaching at my high school, there was a learning center right down the road. I saw tons of kids going in. The windows are open. They have colorful signs, and you can see children inside. So this is a lie. It's a complete grift, and we know it's charlatan.
Somebody just needs to go to jail. That's all. That's what I want to see. Not only do I want to see somebody go to jail, I want to see people get their asses fired. If you are responsible for handing out public money, I mean, this is the thing. OPM.
I want the inspectors to go to jail. Is what I want.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want too. I want if you are in charge of handling other people's money as a public official, and you allow this kind of fraud to go on, you need to go to jail too. You need to go sit in that same cell as these people who are perpetrating the fraud. Because what you are an enabler, and by being an enabler, you are just as guilty as they are for stealing our money, the taxpayers' money.
Well, they were notified in 2015 originally of this fraud. So this is another part where the Minnesota case is doubly bad, because there's an actual news stories on the actual first notifications being in 2015.
And what are they afraid of, Paul? Why didn't they bring this out? What are they afraid of?
It just gets swept under the rug, so some people who are probably politicians or whatever can make more money from the Somalians, or maybe get reelected.
Okay, my guess is that if I'm an inspector, you know, what is the main defense that they use every single time? Oh, you're just being racist. They're afraid of being called racist, and this is this Nick Shirley, he does another video on guys that were out selling stuff on the streets and not allowing people. Yeah, and the guy goes, "What are you, racist?" I'm racist. I just want to sell something right here, and you're not allowed. How is that racist? And that is the defense. And people are just getting so sick and tired of it. They're like, "Shut up! You can play this card so many. You sound like Chicken Little, but the sky is falling, or the what's the other nursery? The
guy, he started getting attacked by security. His security was real important that day. I just want to sell something here. Everybody else is selling something.
Well, you know what's really fascinating to me is having, and all of us, Paul and Eric and I, we all worked as teachers. There's lots of paper trails. You have to do tons of paperwork within any kind of legitimate organization, because you have to prove the efficacy of what you're doing. And I'm not sure if, Paul, you did special ed too, but you have to do IEPs, you have to do a bunch of paperwork. And I'm like, this is insane that do any of these people have licenses? Like, we all had to get licenses to teach. So
well, they're pre-K, so they don't have to have a certification. So the director would have to have some kind of special training, maybe an associate's degree at the most. But no, in general, there is no educational requirement, maybe a certification requirement.
So
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
If you're gonna break into a school, let's say you're gonna break into a high school, are you gonna go to the office and steal the file cabinet?
No, absolutely.
You're gonna go to the principal's office. You're gonna look in that area or the head secretary's area, and you're gonna look for a safe. And you better bring a safe cracker because they're used to putting New York State tests in things like safes, and those have to be secure.
This is what they want you to believe. I mean, this is what's so insane about it. They want you to believe that somebody actually broke through a flipping wall, a concrete wall.
And it never happened. That's the funny part when you see that video. Nobody broke in from the outside. They just broke a wall that was inside. And like you said, it was a place to stash cash.
and they want you to think that they came in and they stole the records. I mean, what is wrong with you? I mean, how stupid do you have to? Oh, you have to if you're from Somalia. And the average IQ is
70 IQ, maybe 80. 80 might be too high.
You got to be that dumb. All right, let's go back to this guy. Let's go back.
One last thing. For me, that's interesting what you brought up, Paul, is that it's very minimal certifications. I'm like, I would think the teachers would have to, because you're working with kids. I do know that there's early childhood educators that you have to get special training for that. So I'm like, and I remember when I was looking for jobs, there were certain kind of certifications that you needed to do some of this stuff because you have to have child abuse stuff. You have to have paperwork, though. These things can't be paperwork.
That's a good point. That is a good point. So you would have to have the child abuse reporting paperwork. Now, that would be interesting to see if they had any records of that. Well, if you don't have any records of that, you don't have any records of any employees, is what.
Exactly.
You also have annual training that you have to go through.
Well, that's we're just talking about the annual trainings. That's what, okay. But here's the other part. If you have 102 kids, the ratio, I think, is in places like this should be like 1 to 5 or 1 to 8 at the highest. It's not like 1 to 12. You have to have, like my little sister used to work in daycares, and she was a teacher. But in New York State, there's no requirement for teachers that work in daycare. There's no state requirement. You can be certified to teach, and at least when I went to school, you got certified teaching N to whatever. So you could do nursery to whatever. But as far as state certifications that I'm aware of, there are no state requirements in most states for nursery school teachers. So you can hire a person off the street, train them, and for the required stuff, hopefully they should be partnering with someone. Most of the people have a high school education. Some have a little bit more. Little bit, maybe a college class, maybe some on-the-job training. The requirements differ state to state.
Well, I just pulled it up. It does, but it also differs based on the age. For example, it says that if you're an infant or birth to 15 months, the staff to child ratio cannot exceed 1 to 4. So 1 staff member and 4 children. Toddlers, which is 12 to 36 months, is 1 to 6. And then it gives the maximum group sizes too. You can't have over 12 there. Preschool, which is 30 months to 5 years old, 1 to 10. And then kindergarten, 1 to 12. And then school age, which is K to 3rd grade, 1 to 15.
And that's generally why you will see kindergartners with a teacher aide. And a teacher.
So so here, I mean, these guys are so busted. And this again, this is my thing, is that the people who are supposed to be providing oversight for this, that are issuing these licenses, that are supposed to be inspecting these establishments, they need to go to jail too. That at a minimum, they need to lose their job for negligence. that's a minimum. They need to be fired and lose all of their benefit. I mean, every last one of them. They need to go.
And I'm mean enough to the point where, I mean, there are great daycare centers, and in truth, what they're doing is they're destroying legitimate businesses by doing this forgery. So,
well, and they're the reasons why you have to have this increased burden on legitimate businesses, is because you have people out there scamming these things. And in this repent for Jesus. Think of what I am. This is what really bothers me the most, is that there are kids out there, families out there that actually really need these services, need this money, and these people are stealing it from them.
I would say that we have to go back and remember that it's not the government's job to provide for the needy. I don't think that we should be doing that. We should not be in that business. We can point the direction. I mean, government should be pointing the direction. There's a church, there's a synagogue that will do these things, or whatever, that will provide the services you're asking for. But the government should not be in the business of helping people. I mean, maybe provide a place for that someone can get paid. I mean, a service, maybe, be a go-between thing. You can learn how to work with computers, things like that. I know that they do that in the school district where I am. They'll teach adults how to get different kinds of jobs. You can go to them and get on not on the job training, but be trained to do a different kind of job. But you have to pay to do those things.
Well, I honestly think that there should be a safety net, not a hammock, but a safety net for people who need these types of things, because you have, young single mothers out there can't afford to, even buy diapers for crying. And this is why we have SNAP benefits. But the thing with the SNAP benefit, I mean, all that is ripe for abuse, and all that goes along with that. And it just disgusts me when people abuse that type of stuff and scam that. I used to see when I was in the Army. I remember when I was first in the Army, and I was at a depot, and we were shifting away from the 45s to the 9mm hand sidearm. Okay. And this depot had an entire dumpster full of magazines, brand new magazines for 45 pistols, brand new, still in the package, in the packing grease, and in the package that they were throwing out. And I'm thinking, who does this? I mean, how can you have such massive waste like that, and nobody get in trouble for it? I mean, you get called to the carpet for this type of thing. But when you have budgets like this, and when it's other people's money, well, they weren't selling it. That was going. They said that.
Because what government does when government updates stuff, and I'm going to say this for school districts as well. I've seen it with school districts. They update equipment. They get an order to destroy the equipment or to get rid of it, not to. It's only recently school districts have been selling older equipment. That it's kind of mind-numbing when you watch it, because I've seen them throw out old computers that were functional rather than selling them.
Well, with that, you have hard drive issues, data storage. I get that.
You can wipe the drive. You can wipe the drive. That's really easy.
Well, that's you're not wrong, and that's where I'm looking the same thing. That in fact you can just do a quick install on multiple drives. So it's a joke is how I look at it.
I'm thinking is you get okay. I'm not going to go there. I'm just thinking you get like the Hillary Clinton bitch bleep thing, and Why not? Why not do that? That's how my mind works. All right, let's put Nick back on and let's finish this up here. See what he goes.
Of these buildings, they're nowhere to be seen. Millions of dollars are being sent into these daycare centers all across Minnesota, and there's not a child to be seen anywhere. Here's another daycare center inside this same building.
We don't want you to be videotaping anything.
Well, who cares what you want?
Where is all the money going for if there's no children at these daycare centers?
Sir,
Yes.
I told you, please leave.
Yes, we have a question though. Where is the children at these daycare centers if there's millions of dollars?
Ask the local government.
Exactly. Ask the local government. When you go to local government, well, what do? Well, if you go down there and inspect you, what do? Well, what are you, a bunch of racists and inspecting us? Shut up.
Oh, we have the paper here. So we're wondering where the money and where the children are at. We have the paper right here. Come here.
Who are you, first of all?
My name's Nick Shirley.
You don't have any permission to record me, period.
Can we talk?
You're in public. You're in public. You have permission.
Talk outside?
You don't have permission to record.
She doesn't either have. She doesn't have permission to record me.
You cannot stop people on the street and question them.
We can ask.
You don't have any permission.
Where are the children?
I will sue you. You don't have any permission. We have nothing to do with this. You understand?
Then are there
children? Please leave.
Are there children here?
Please leave.
Where are the children? $2.6 million for a daycare center.
You ask whoever you think is doing that. You don't know what you're talking about. So leave.
Tell us what's happening here then.
I said leave.
We're wondering what's happening.
I'm not a child care. We have nothing to do with it. We're common people walking. And
Yes.
You are.
Well, who is this guy?
We're common people walking. You say not to record, but I record you.
Yeah, that is exactly hypocrisy.
We're not accusing you. We're asking where the children are at.
Don't ask me anything.
We're not accusing you. We're asking the daycare centers.
I am not going to answer. You have.
Where are the children?
I gotta ask you a question. Hold on, put it on pause.
What's that?
Can you name a daycare center that will be called Getty Adult? I mean, why would you call it daycares? What is it, for taking care of senior citizens? What is
this? Arroz? What is that? Spanish for rice? Arroz?
We just want to know, where are the children?
Who you work for?
My name's Nick Shirley.
Who do you work for?
I work for myself, Nick Shirley.
Okay, what are you recording?
We're wondering, where are the children? $2.66 million for
You're not talking to
the Minnesota
right
Child Care Center.
You're not talking to the right person.
Are there children that come here? Answer
You're
the
not
question.
talking
Are
to
there
the right
children?
person. Leave.
There's no children inside this building.
You don't know who you're talking to. Leave.
That's just a simple question. Where are the children at? David, they won't even answer. We asked him, plain and simple, where are the children? Do children come here?
This is why I've had my life. I've been
Uh-oh. Your security guard pulled down his face mask in the back.
attacked twice. Once with a knife, and the other time I was jumped last Saturday by 3 Somali men simply for asking questions about what was going on. And they're very, very violent people.
What is it? Moroccan bath, facials, massages, waxing. Okay, so, okay. Hold on just a second. Okay.
Hairstylist.
Hold on. Okay, so you're in the same hallway where there's a daycare, right? Okay, I'm taking my kid to the daycare, but as I'm taking my kid to the daycare, I'm going past someplace that is a Moroccan bath where they, hold on, let me bring this back up here. It's a Moroccan bath where they give facials, massages and waxing. Hold on, let's call this place. Hold on, let's call this Moroccan bath place here. See what they got to say.
I will say it's probably closed at this time.
Yeah, it's a Moroccan bath. Maybe they have long hours. Who knows?
You're going to get lots of phone calls.
Let's see what they have to say.
Please leave your message for.
Hello. Okay, let's try the other number. 1952 7. Back here. Okay. All right. So let's see what these people have to say.
call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available.
Okay, so this is two of them. Let's back up and see what this. Okay, hairstyles, makeup, eyebrow. What is that? What is eyebrow threading?
It's a relative Asian. It's an Asian therapy, I guess. For we have beautification.
Good Lord. Okay, so as you're taking your kid to the daycare in the Layering Center, you're passing these no.
Hey, Red.
Very violent
people.
Excuse me.
Well, they do not like this fraud.
Look at that. The something beauty.
Brad, can you turn off your mic?
I was muted.
Okay.
Okay, so we're getting an echo from someplace. All right.
To be exposed.
After giving this man plenty of opportunities to answer the simple question, where are the children, he called the cops on us, and we headed to the state capitol where they're having a meeting about the fraud to confront the state representatives and people in the government who have enabled and let this fraud happen. Inside of this committee, a Republican representative showed charts showing exactly how this fraud has been committed and who is profiting and connecting all the dots. And while the Democrat representatives looked into the abyss, one of them spoke about how none of this is building trust and how this is a nonpartisan issue, so I went and confronted her after that.
Yes, but
he has some very valid questions.
Okay, this guy right here, he's a little spastic, but I want to hear what he has to say. I've seen the part with him.
Questions to ask about what's going on here in Minnesota. And do you think this fraud
I don't know who
crosses?
you are.
My name's Nick Shirley. Do you think this fraud is Republican or Democrat, or just facts that fraud is happening?
Now, well, listen, this is exactly what they're doing in New York City today by protesting the removal of Maduro. People in Venezuela are absolutely celebrating in the streets, but people in New York City are upset because we've invaded Venezuela, which we did not invade. This is probably one of the big anyway. But this is what you get.
Because
Trump's fault.
Well, because that's what I heard you talking about. That
I know what I said is that
because
what we're talking about
we want to build trust, but fraud is fraud. So why should we be enabling fraud to happen here?
No, I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to happen.
Hold Governor Walz accountable for this.
Okay, sir.
No. This
Sir,
is not.
sir.
When are you going to hold Governor Walz? No. She is a representative for the state of Minnesota. Yes or no?
Excuse me.
Yes. Are you?
If you're going to talk to me like
are
that,
you going to say to her, "I'm a disability advocate"?
I heard you, and we've got a chance.
Overstimulated.
Homie is way overstimulated right now.
He's
Let's just say that. I get overstimulated. What was he? Some type of did he say advocate? Disabled advocate? Okay, you need people like that on your side, I guess. Okay. What were you gonna say, Paul? I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's definitely he could be an advocate, but he's also one of them.
To testify.
Thank you for testifying today.
No.
Ma'am, the facts are the facts that fraud
Okay, this lady is playing interference. Is all she's doing.
is happening here, and it's not a nonpartisan issue. How come you think fraud has been able to happen so much underneath?
I think
the
if you've
government
been
here?
listening to our hearings, we've had now 10 hearings on this. And so there's really good data from the people who both work within the administration as well as who, both Democrat and Republicans. I think
Yes.
what you heard today is that the Republicans who control this committee are not actually interested in solving fraud. What
Okay, it's the Republicans' fault that the Democrats are stealing. They're allowing the money to be stolen. You got a Democratic government allowing the oversight. The enforcer, the chief law enforcement agent for the state of Minnesota, which is actually the governor, is allowing them to steal them.
they're interested in
But it's the Republicans' fault.
is telling a story.
This fraud has happened underneath Democrat leader Tim Walz.
There has been Medicaid fraud across the country under
Okay, it's rest of the country. Listen to this lady.
Democrats and Republicans. There's fraud within the Trump administration. We have.
And then when he tried to weed it out under Doge, it was wenches like this that were complaining about it, for crying out loud.
Have is fraud. Private providers have made government a mark. And so every person running government, Democrats or Republicans, are dealing with the issue of how to keep fraudsters out of our public payment. We're also dealing with veterans. We're dealing with
Veterans?
So
veterans
veterans now fraud?
Am I defrauding the government now?
Consumers, I hope you're looking at that. If you look at United Health,
We're not going to look at the Somalis. No, we're going to look at veterans.
currently is being charged with defrauding Medicare. You know who runs Medicare? President Trump. Medicaid fraud is a 50-state.
And he has been running through this. The Doge went through there, and what did they do? They screamed bloody murder. They wouldn't even let them have access to their computers for Medicare and Medicaid fraud. And she wants to sit here and complain about it? Really?
Issue. And so, again, it is not a partisan issue. There are Democrats and Republicans who are sitting in that committee talking about it. But what you did here was the Republican chair say she's not turning information over to the one person in government who can stop payment.
Who is this guy? He looks like a cartoon character.
And I hope you
he's
get that.
Most likely a page or some form of an aide to her.
Okay.
Crazy.
Well,
You
saw what happened
the
there?
state of Minnesota that we live in, and these politicians are just walking off, thinking it's okay Tuesday, and they want to go visit the Trump. They want to blame the Trump administration. We have Democrats blaming ICE. I'm tired. My people are suffering. I'm scared for my little brother. My people are suffering, and these people just walk off. We have a governor who fucking doesn't care. How many more people are gonna freaking die? How many more people are gonna go homeless? And how many more people are gonna be trafficked in our freaking system?
Okay,
He went too far.
I think he's a little over the top, but but I agree.
But if we're not spending the money where all this money's being stolen. He said 111 million one day they discovered that.
Yeah, in one day.
In one day.
One day, they went in there and they were able to do that. Now, just think if you had some type of authority, because they always what do they do? They say, "Well, who are you? I'm Nick Shirley." Well, who are you? What do you do? I got a YouTube channel. What would happen if you actually had some authority? If you were one of the people who were required to provide oversight for these organizations. I'm not talking about law enforcement. I'm talking about the government agency. What is it? Health and Human Services or whatever it is for the state that is supposed to be providing the oversight for these programs. Where are these people? I don't care about the politicians. Politicians are going to be politicians. They're going to be able to get away with whatever the hell it is that people let them get away with. I don't care. Well, I do care, but I want those bureaucrats that are responsible for allowing these people to rip the government off to the tune of $111 million. Just in one day, they were able to do this. And you're telling me that you're getting, I don't know how much they make.
Well, the lady who got caught doing all the deflection, she should lose her position. She should resign in disgrace because she didn't deny there was fraud. What she did was she tried to stop the discussion entirely by deflecting. That is quite a statement.
Yeah, and notice how she wanted to blame other people. That's what politicians do. They go, "Oh, it's the Republicans' fault," and then you get to the Republicans, or it's the Democrats' fault. No, the people. The government runs is people, and these people that have these jobs that are, these cush jobs with the government, have these great pension salaries or whatever. You need to earn it, dude. Guys, gals, whoever you are, you need to earn it. Get off your chair, get out the door, and go start inspecting these places because we are getting shaken down as a country, and people they're just tired of it. When we were looking at the COVID money, they were talking about $4 trillion. A quarter of that, 25% of it was ripped off, was stolen. How do you steal $1 trillion? It's just, it makes you sick because it's my grandkids Not even my kids. My kids ain't there. My grandkids that are going to get stuck with this bill. And yeah, I don't know. Okay. I had one more video that I wanted to show that doesn't have anything to do. Do you guys have anything you want to add to this? Anything else?
I did have one. Let's see if I can show it to you. Let's see, share. I did have one article to share that was in the New York Post.
Okay.
Somali fraudsters got luxury digs, beachside resort, rented Rolls Royce and Lamborghini with stolen funds. And they're just showing some of the things the Somali fraudsters got. These are the ones who got convicted in Feeding Our Future scandal. And this is, they had expensive cars, real estate projects in Kenya, a 4-story apartment building, luxurious resort. This is according to
go back up. What does that picture look at? What does that picture say? Cottage Uranus. I'm not staying in a cottage Uranus. I'm just not doing it. I don't think.
Well, it's yep. And this is in Kenya.
Another reason not to go to Kenya.
All right. Look at this is their luxury suite.
Was that a
luxury off-work cottage?
Is that an ashtray on the table?
Probably.
Wow.
And it's Kenya, so it's hot. Like, this was interesting. I mean, they're talking about the fraud. And, yep. This one deceitfully claimed to have served 18 million meals to needy children in over 30 sites across the 10,000 lakes. Built Capitol View Apartments, a luxury 4-story apartment building in Nairobi for $1 million. So, yep, people are out there making money off the government. And
at least they're not in a strip.
There's the guy that you were talking about.
Is that him? Yeah.
I think this is Amy Bach, but it looks like him. Yeah, that's his car, that one you were talking about. It's just, you sit there.
I don't know. It just angers me to no end that, these guys are able to do this. All right. Let's go ahead and do this last one here. Here's just some stats that I noticed. I emailed it to myself and brought this up. Okay.
No sound.
Yeah, here we go.
رأي المسلمين في المنظمات الإرهابية، إيه رأي المسلمين في الإرهاب؟ 81% من المسلمين موافقين إن داعش كويسة، 92%
81% approve ISIS, 92%
من السعوديين بيقولوا إن تعاليم داعش هي تعاليم الإسلام، 51% من
51% Muslims. What? 51% of Muslims in America want Sharia law. Think about that, folks. Half of the Muslims in this country want Sharia law implemented. And we did a show.
I'm hearing another audio in the background.
Red is in the back. Red.
I'm sorry. All right, maybe it was me. I don't know.
There. Red. We good now?
Yeah.
Okay, so half of the Muslims, according to this research poll, half of the Muslims in this country want Sharia.
Yeah,
Sharia subverts the Constitution. That's unconstitutional. You want Sharia instead of the Constitution.
I have the stats on that. If you want, I can go back and check. I think it was last week. Or
what else is this guy?
62% من المسلمين اللي في كندا عايزين يطبقوا الشريعة.
62% of Muslims in Canada want Sharia.
49.9% من المسلمين بيدعموا أسامة بن لادن.
50% of Muslims supported Osama bin Laden.
84% من المصريين
of Egyptian Muslims
نفسهم يقتلوا أي حد يسيب الإسلام.
84% of Egyptian Muslims would kill anyone that leaves Islam.
64% منهم عايزين يطبقوا الرجم. تلت مسلمي بريطانيا بيدعموا القتل في سبيل نشر الإسلام.
Wow. 1/3 of Muslims in England support the killing of people for apostasy. What's that?
I have it from France. The French Institute of Public Opinion conducted a survey of Muslims living in France. According to the survey, 32% of Muslims in France consider Islam to be both a religion and legal system, which should be used to define all aspects of life. 36% said they believe Western countries suffer from a moral and spiritual decay, which can only be remedied by Islam. Even more, 43% said that they believed it was legitimate to campaign politically to advance Islamic values in Western nations, such as France. On the issue of Sharia, 33% of respondents said that they believe it's intended to apply to the entire world. Of those who were in favor of such conquest, 88% said they would prefer a gradual adaptation through education and preaching. However, if you believe these numbers, 9% said they would condone the use of coercion or force to spread Islamic law. The catch is, if you believe in Islamic law, if you believe in Sharia, you have an obligation to apply it. So these low numbers are just testifying that, I mean, there's a requirement to lie if it benefits Islam. And this is the stuff they're doing, in these stats.
What is the source for that, Paul? What is it? Where is
I will put it in private.
Okay. Okay. I got one in private. You said sent me something in private. What is this? I'm gonna pull that up. All right, let me finish this up and then we can go through the night.
62% منهم ضد حرية التعبير، و26 من أصل 28 من أخطر الإرهابيين في العالم مسلمين. بغض النظر.
Yeah. Okay. 26 out of the world's 28 terrorists are Muslims. There we go. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of interesting, those stats. I mean, when you start doing stats, the stats pretty much don't lie, especially when you do these polls. Well, sometimes polls, right, you get things wrong. This is true, but when it says half of the Muslims in the United States want Sharia, I mean, let's just say it's wrong by 10%. That's still 40%. 4 out of 10. Come on. What is wrong 10% the other way? That'd be 60%. All right. So we're going to call it quits for the night, guys. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Everybody in chat that was there, that's been here tonight, thank you for coming and contributing there. I've been trying to keep up with that as much as I can. It's kind of hard to multitask, listen to what you guys are saying and trying to find what it is. It's okay. I've been doing it for years. I'm a professional at this now.
I want to ask, do you want to see Jerusalem? I can show you outside the window if you want to see it.
Yeah. Let's see your dig.
Yeah, I'm in the Jerusalem Hotel. It's pretty cool.
Oh wow,
but I have a little
beauty. Who's paying for this? It's probably your school. That's probably,
you
know what? You probably got some Somali friends back home, Isa. Pay for this program.
Oh, there you go.
Oh wow, beautiful. Look at that. What a view. Wow. Life is good, ain't it? How much longer are you over there for?
Yeah, well, I do volunteering and helping. Huh?
How much longer are you over there for?
I'm here till the 11th. Then I'm coming back and I'm doing the debate. Wish me luck on this debate.
All right. I wish you luck, brother.
I'm going with the Apostate Prophet. So, maybe we'll review some of it.
AP's got a tight stock group. He knows what he's doing. I'm going to send you a slideshow. A couple slideshows that I did on it. You can use it or just look at it. Maybe give you some idea of what I'm talking about. But I'm just talking about the legitimacy of Israel to the land. It's based off of
I say make sure you quote the Quran and ask them when they say it doesn't have ask them point blank, are you calling Allah a liar?
Excuse me.
I mean, I know he's the greatest deceiver, but Did he lie to you in the Quran?
Okay, it's I'll send you a slideshow that I did. It's based off of this book that's by Jay Sekulow.
That's a good one. Yeah.
You are correct. That's a valid point that
excuse me,
Bani Israel over and over again, and it says like Uthkurul law. It says that the people, of Bani Israel are supposed to enter, a Beitul, Muqaddas, the Holy Land. So, yeah, it's bizarre. I mean, there's a lot of erasure that I've noticed. I'm going to probably talk a little bit about stolen valor. I'm going to ask, do you believe that Jesus is Muslim? So, was Jesus a Jew or was he a Muslim? I might bring that up. I'm like, is Jesus a Jew? Is Moses a Jew? Are these people Jews or are they Muslims? And I think if you say that they're Muslim,
if you're gonna mention Moses, you should ask, is Moses the uncle? Is Moses the uncle of Jesus?
You're talking about for Miriam. Oh boy.
I mean, it's okay. I was going to tell you, Jizya is going to be the slideshow I'm going to send you is based off of this book here, and it's about who has the right to the land. I know the title of the debate is who's right or who. Anyway, this might give you a basis.
I would be prepared for tangents because they can't handle the truth, so they're going to be going off on tangents. Yeah. Just think about. I would watch videos for tangents, and for that, that's going to be the only way they can go. They can't argue
prediction. Oh, sorry. I was going to say one prediction I have. They're going to bring up the Hannibal Directive. I'm almost 100% sure that that's going to be a trick that's going to be brought up. So,
the what?
The Hannibal Directive. It's this idea that the IDF kills its own people to stop them from being kidnapped.
What? Say this again.
It's called the Hannibal Directive.
And what is it? What's the premise of it?
So it's from Hannibal, Hannibal of Carthage, Hannibal Barca from, Hannibal of
right,
Carthage.
Yeah, I know who he is, but I mean.
Yeah, so the idea is, so there was some secret thing from like the 80s to 2016 and where it was canceled out. It's a complete misunderstanding of it, but it's the idea, because the idea is if someone gets kidnapped by terrorists, they're going to be abused and assaulted and maybe sexually assaulted and all these kinds of things. So the IDF would would kill the Israeli to protect them from the harm of the terrorist. Do you get what I mean? Because the terrorists would do horrible things to these people. That's what it was for. That's what it's about. But it's not even true that directive wasn't even in place. But that's the point. They're going to bring it up and say, well, the Nova Film Festival, the Nova Festival, Israelis actually killed the Nova Festival goers, and it wasn't Hamas. That's the argument they're going to bring up. I promise you.
Yeah, well,
watch that. You're going to see that.
Without what was it? Ed, Protestant believers. Without lies, Islam dies.
So the goal is, I would start out by saying some things are distractions. And the goal here is to discuss the real issue. Who has the right to the land? It doesn't matter what policies have been made since the Quran has been written. You could go that far. If you want to say, okay, we'll start with the Quran. Let's start with the Quran. And anything that happened afterwards, we'll accept everything that happened before, but anything that happened afterwards is irrelevant because the Quran, if we start, you could start, that's a fun way to start. You could say, I can start with the Quran. When this chapter was published. You're not saying when the Quran was written, because we all know it was written 150 to 200 years after Mo was dead. But yeah, have some fun with that. Accept the Quran's existence and say, let's start with this. If we go any farther, does it matter? Because the Quran says we have to start with that. Just leave that and then go back farther. You can go back into the Bible. I mean, that's where you can have some fun.
I think it's going to be an adventure. So,
yeah, you'll have some fun.
I'm sending you this.
It's going to be a hair pulling adventure.
You saw Junior. You've seen Junior debate Christianity, right? Have you
Oh,
seen
yeah.
his illustrious ideas?
Yeah, he's out there, dude. Oh, but dude, his tweets though, dude. He just tweets out random stuff like every 10 minutes, just like what's ever on the top of his head. He just blurts out, and a lot of it doesn't make any sense. It is the
And
funniest
he gets
thing,
a thousand. He gets 1,000 likes, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
right, yeah.
Have you listened to his music? He's an esteemed rapper. He has the level of acumen.
Oh yeah,
New Mayor Hamdani. It's the same level of acumen of musical prowess.
That's scary.
No, but what's funny is I heard a couple of them. One of them, he's rapping about the OnlyFans model that he was celebrating Eid with in Abu Dhabi or whatever. Yeah, that's a good one. With all his N-word posses. Yeah, he likes to use the N-word in his rap a lot. Yeah, he's culturally appropriating my black culture. Just saying. Yeah. Anyway. Oh yeah, but I want to know find out who this Julian guy is. We got to find out who he is. So that's the guy that's running the debate show to find out who he is. Get an X account or something, or YouTube or something. There's got to be something on him.
Yeah, I hear that.
Eric, you still with us?
He sent me information.
Oh.
Are we still live?
It says we are.
Yeah, we're live. I unfortunately going to have to go pretty soon.
Yeah, I think we all need to probably
enjoy the debate. Have some fun. I will say this: I would call out the fallacies. I would even label the fallacies because nobody does that anymore. They need to be called out. Label the fallacies. I mean, this is fallacious reasoning. I mean, we need to do that in debates. We need to do that publicly. Call out fallacious reasoning. They won't know what they are, which is even more humorous because they went to debate, but they don't know what a fallacy is. That's why I say it's funny. I mean, that brings in humor.
You're funny.
And for those who don't know what a debate is, you're supposed to avoid fallacious reasoning in a debate. Have some fun.
Okay, what did I miss?
We're having a good laugh about what's going to happen.
Oh,
Right.
Junior's going to be, I think he's going to be just America's greatest sweetheart. So I'm excited for that.
He's the new face of Dawa. He's going to save the Dawa. All right, guys, I got to go. I'll talk to y'all later. God bless.
All right, guys. Again, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming. And we will see you next week, next Sunday. Isa, prepare. Hey, look, I just sent you that email with the slideshow in it. Use whatever. Okay. All right. God bless y'all. We'll see you.
Bye.
Bye.
Advanced student and specialist, that the standard narrative has holes. That's what
that the Muslims were rioting against one another. And as much as we don't want to face the fact, the Muslims were lying sometimes. They were fabricating, they were embellishing, and that might be hard to accept, but that is a reality.